io anche stasera è fatta. Ma secondo voi ce la facciamo a fare il nostro spettacolo? Secondo me potrebbe essere lo spettacolo più bello del mondo. Claro, sì, poi c'è le varie prove, c'è le opinioni della gente, ma secondo me se ci mettiamo, ecco, potremmo essere la stella del nostro atto, potremmo essere il protagonista. Sì, poi la gente è gelosa, gli stiamo antipatici, hai ragione, però pensa un po' se c'è anche Franco, no, che ci aiuta. Se ci mettiamo veramente, secondo me potremmo farcela con lavoro, sì certo, però potremmo essere liberi, potremmo essere in pace, potremmo essere l'artista che abbiamo sempre desiderato. No, sì, forse hai ragione te, forse restiamo ancora un po', perché sai, poi magari là fuori c'è da cercarci da mangiare da solo, ci facciamo un po' più d'esperienza e poi dopo magari le persone ci prendono anche più seriamente, perché sai che cose fai? Tu riesci a realizzare i vostri
I'm fucking brilliant. I'm brilliant. But you know, they don't appreciate me here. Not that I'm surprised. You know, I've changed circuses many times, and every time it's the same shit. I come in with an amazing attitude. I give them my best work, and then they ruin it, you know? They say, hey, Frank, I want you to make an act. And so, you know, I do. I spend weeks on it. Blood, sweat, tears, all of my heart and soul. And then it's like, I get to this point where I've made all of these like super detailed, intricate movements, kind of stunning duets, all of these like intimate, sweet trios. And then, you know, they come in and they slap on some shitty, garish costumes, and then they put the whole choreography on a giant foam mattress shaped like a fucking birthday cake until it's just, you know, a bunch of tasteless nonsense, really. But, you know, hey, they all love it. They love to see years of technique dragged through the dreck till it's little more than glorified whoredom, you know? But it's fine, you know? You know, they should fucking worship me. Bow to my gifts. I was born doing this. I've spent my entire life perfecting it. And I didn't just perform in those regional rinky-dink circuses. No, no, no. I've toured internationally. I've danced with the very best. Performing at this sideshow in this Midwestern purgatory is just a little stop through on my way to greatness. I've got more talent in my pinky finger than a lot of those directors put together. It's just a bit of fucking fur that gets between me and their power. Just a little bit of fur. And you know, if they would treat me with a little bit more, you know, respect, and maybe sometimes actually listen to my ideas, things might run a little better around here, and maybe everything we would put on the stage would just be a pile of fucking shit all the time.
Oh, look, it's a bear. Where? There on the ground.
Oh, I see it. Is she playing?
Maybe she's hiding.
Wow, I really love her fur.
Yeah, she's so pretty.
She looks a little bit sad.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is she all alone?
Yeah, where are all the other bears?
Oh,
Oh, wow. That's a big stretch.
oh yeah.
I think she's gonna come this way.
Yeah, she's so cute. Oh, that was funny.
Man, I wish she'd come this way. I'd like to see her face.
Oh, bear. Bear. Oh,
Oh, she's moving so slow.
she's walking now. Come here. Bear. Bear, look at her.
Oh, she has stuff. Here, bear.
Look at us.
Come on.
Hey, we're here.
Hey.
So cute. Look at it. Look at it.
Oh, so close. I just wanted to look at it.
Oh, no.
Oh, oh, oh.
Sei stata fantastica stasera, cucciolina mia. Come sempre. Mi fa piacere sentirti felice. Felice. Pff, come posso essere felice in questo posto? Ogni giorno la stessa storia, schiavo di qualche imbecille, chiuso in una gabbia, esibendomi per il piacere di gente indegna. Potrebbero avere il miglior spettacolo del mondo, ma non lo avranno mai, perché questo posto è diretto da un incompetente pezzo di merda. E perché, Ursula? Perché restiamo? Beh, siamo artisti, suppongo. È la speranza di realizzare il mio sogno che mi fa andare avanti. Ma qui non succederà mai. Lo so, Franco, è frustrante. È più che frustrante, è estenuante. Ursula, come puoi essere così calma? Non hai voglia di fuggire da tutto questo? Oh, Franco, non essere ingenuo. Se cerchiamo di scappare e ci beccano, è la fine per noi. Anche se riuscissimo a fuggire, cosa mangeremmo? Dove dormiremmo? Tu sei nato qui, ma io sono cresciuta là fuori, dove l'uomo ha tutto il potere. Essere rinchiusi nel circo è orribile e ingiusto, ma perlomeno abbiamo da mangiare e un tetto sulla testa. E poi c'è la danza. Non possiamo semplicemente essere felici di avere l'un l'altro. Ma dai, Ursula, so che ti manca la libertà del mondo selvaggio, l'odore dei pini, l'acqua fresca dei ruscelli. Potremmo avere il nostro spettacolo, solo per raccimolare abbastanza soldi per campare, senza dover compiacere nessuno. Potresti essere un orso senza collare. Non ti piacerebbe? Sì, ma certo che mi manca la libertà. Non so se mi manca il mondo selvaggio. Ma forse possiamo davvero sopravvivere. Lo so che è da tanto che non sei felice qui. Quindi, se pensi di riuscire a fuggire, vengo con te. Promettimi solamente che un giorno troveremo un bel posto tranquillo da chiamare casa. Oh, mia cara, non c'è niente al mondo che io voglia di più, lo prometto. Quindi, sei sicura? Sì, sicura.
Or and then and then and then then could you hold it? Yeah, a little lower with the image. A little higher. Too high. 2 steps forward. 2 more steps forward. 2 more steps forward. Stay there. 3 steps to the left. 3 steps quicker to the left. Quarter turn to the left. Quarter turn to the right. 1/8 of a turn to the left. 5 steps back. 4 more steps back. Projector tiny bit to the lower and towards your right collarbone. Yeah. And then could you take 5 steps forward? Faster. 3 steps forward. Quarter turn to the left. 1 step back. Stay there. Keep staying there. 8 steps forward. Faster. 3 slow steps to the side. Left. 4 steps back. 1 step to the left. Back to the right. 1 step back. Quarter turn to the left. 1/8 of a turn to the left. Okay, keep doing that. We're going to keep looking at it.
exhausted, Frank. I've had enough. The hours, the expectations, it's losing all of its joy. When we set out, we did this to be happy, but it's just never enough for you. You promised me we'd find a place to settle down.
Ursula, don't you see, this is a life of our own. We've come so far. We need the satisfaction of seeing things through. Don't you see everything I've done for you? I got you out of that horrible circus. I put you at the center of our act. We get to be the artists we want to be now. Why would you want that to stop?
Because, Frank, you get to be the artist you want to be now. I might as well still be wearing a leash, and I don't want this anymore. I want freedom, I want to feel at peace, and I want way more than this.
Where in the world do you think you're going to find more than this? You're delusional if you think you can make it on your own. You need me.
No, Frank. You need me, and I'm not doing it anymore.
Fine, okay, Ursula, you're right. I need you. I need you. Just don't give up now. Everything we've dreamed of, everything we've worked for, it's almost in reach. And I promise, we're gonna stop all this someday. I just wanna go a little further. We're so close. Can you hold on a little longer for me?
Sono esausta, Franco. Ne ho abbastanza. Le ore di lavoro, la continua pressione. Sta perdendo tutta la gioia. Abbiamo iniziato con la speranza di essere felici, ma non è mai abbastanza per te. Mi promettesti che avremmo trovato un posto in cui fermarci e cominciare una vita tutta nostra. Ursula, ma non vedi che questa è già una vita tutta nostra? Siamo arrivati così lontano. Ci meritiamo qualche soddisfazione. Non ti rendi conto di tutto quello che ho fatto per te? Ti ho tirata fuori da quell'orribile circo. Ti ho fatto la stella del nostro atto. Possiamo finalmente essere gli artisti che abbiamo sempre desiderato di essere. Perché dovremmo fermarci proprio ora? Perché, Franco, tu puoi essere l'artista che hai sempre desiderato. Quanto a me, è come se indossassi ancora il collare. Non voglio più continuare con tutto questo. Voglio essere libera, in pace. Voglio di più. E dove pensi di trovare più di tutto questo? Sei un'illusa se pensi di potercela fare da sola. Tu hai bisogno di me. No, Franco, tu hai bisogno di me. Ma io non ci sto più. Ursula, dai, hai ragione. In fondo ho bisogno di te. Non mollare proprio adesso. Posso quasi toccare il nostro sogno con un dito. Dai, ti prometto che un giorno ci fermeremo. Continuiamo solo per un po'. Siamo così vicini. Potresti resistere, insomma. Fallo per me.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. brilliant one, not you. Not you. Not you. I'm the brilliant one, not you. You were just holding me back. That's right. Holding me back. I don't need you. I'm the brilliant one, not you. Fine, leave. I don't need you. You were just holding me back. That's right. Not you. They're my ideas. But you never get them right. I don't need you because you never get them right. I'm the brilliant one, not you. Leave. You're just holding me back. That's right. They're my ideas. But you never get them right because you suck. You suck. And you'll never be good enough. Never. Fine, leave. I don't need you. I'm the brilliant one, not you. You were just holding me back. Not you. You suck. Fine, leave. I don't need you. I'm the brilliant one, not you. You were just holding me back. That's right, holding me back. They're my ideas, but you never get them right because you suck. You suck, and you'll never be good enough. I'm the brilliant one, not you. Because you suck. Suck. I don't need you. You'll never be good.
Russell Lepley, Kelly Albert, and Filippo Palacci. So first of all, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you to the three of you. It's a very challenging piece on many levels. The point, the solo with the points is obviously something to, we need to talk about. I've seen many of your pieces, and there's always a mix of a lot of genres within one piece. So you have obviously the movement, you have the sounds, you have the music, now you have even the technology. It's a piece that addresses so many questions and themes, the power dynamics between the artist and the choreographer, the idea of who owns the pleasure. Do you still have pleasure while dancing, or is the audience that's supposed to have the pleasure? Who owns that notion of pleasure? There's also this beautiful scene with that I call the panopticon eye, where you have the choreographer, there's like this eye that's trying to discipline the bodies, even though you try to escape the circus, to free yourself. So it's so rich that it's hard to find a first question. So I'm gonna go with something easy to start. Maybe for you, Russell, what came first? Is it the technology? Is it the movement? Is it the story itself?
Usually it's, in this case it was the concept or idea of basically hearing the song maybe 5 or 6 years ago and having this idea for a piece then. And that, original idea didn't involve technology or anything like that, but I saw this parallel between these two characters and the life that I was living, working as a professional dancer in Germany and feeling very frustrated with how little creative autonomy I was having as a dancer. So that was where this piece actually originated. It was an idea I had a long time ago. The idea to involve technology came with, I had like a kind of a snapshot idea of the projection with the subtitles in the hands, and having that idea made me interested in finding other ways to integrate it and to make it a whole part of the piece. And we were really fortunate to have a collaboration with Livable Futures, which is associated with the Motion Lab at OSU, and they also deserve a huge credit for helping make that really integrated and a part of the piece.
Thank you. Maybe one question for, please. One question for Filippo. Tell us about how long did it take you to get back to the point? I know, everybody wants to ask a question, so let me ask a question. So you were trained as a ballet dancer as well as a contemporary dancer, but it's also part of your work to deconstruct the stereotypical traditional way to perceive the gender on stage. And so I think that that solo that you worked on for many months, can you talk a little bit about your process?
So at first it was, well, maybe not. Like, let's do point. No, maybe not. But let's start with the point work. I feel like it's one of that specific work that is never good enough. It's never refined enough. It's never pretty enough. So having something that has the connotation, right, fit it in it. And for me, as just taking it back like that, it was a way to put myself into the character and feel what the character could have felt. And so, but at the same time, was also something that I always enjoyed, and I also went, explore during my career, during my training. So yeah, it was just like a good opportunity, but it was hard work, and some days you don't want to move, so you don't want to dance, not even like in bare feet, but then putting point shoes on, it's even worse. So it was definitely a push, but I think that helped me get into the piece.
Thank you very much, Filippo. One question for Kelly. It's the images of you in the nature were absolutely stunning, and you are an incredible dancer anyway, so only stunning images can come out of this. I know, I really like her, in case you didn't notice. So you're also a dancer that has you have your own company, Seabass company, that does a lot of improvisation work, free dance. I'm wondering how challenging it might be to go from one genre to another, because the discipline, the precision of the movements that a choreographer such as Russell requires is completely different from the other type of movement that you make. So I'm wondering how you negotiate from going from one to another.
That's a good question. Yeah. I think one of the really beautiful things that both Russ's work, FluxFlow Dance Project's work, and most of the moving that I do, Seabass included, and any other project I work on, is that what we're really fixated on or interested in is quality, like the quality of the movement, or the character in this case, the switch between this kind of maniacal monkey and this kind of hunched position and this very round, heavy bear. And I think that happens in any genre or form. Even ballet, you're asked to kind of put on this sensation, this quality, this world, this character. And I think you find that no matter where you're dancing or who you're dancing with. So I feel very lucky because it's been fun to bounce back and forth. The scene at the very end where Sono esausto Franco, where Franco's very tired, or where Ursula's very tired, was a really fun challenge to be a monkey, and then a bear, and then a monkey, and then a bear, and then a monkey, and then a bear, and back and forth. Yeah, and I think that that's universal in all movement forms.
I'm going to ask one last question, and then I hope you're prepared, because this is your turn. One last question for Russell, but also, I'm sure you can all contribute. So most of us, or many of us, have seen your previous piece, Red Patience, and then we saw a piece that you did also with the students of your studio, FluxFlow. So all of them are about repetition, are about challenging this idea of perfection and ugliness. What is ugly? What is perfect? Is it even reachable? Is it even necessary that we reach it? And in this piece, it seems like even though they left the circus to do their own show, they never actually end up performing that piece, right? It's a perpetual rehearsal. It's like an endless practice. So what are you trying to tell us? Russell Lepley, explain to us, what is fascination or obsession with going through the repetition in order to challenge this idea of perfection?
I don't really know why I'm so fixated on it, honestly, but I always have been in a way, and I think a lot of my character has been people-pleasing ever since I was a kid, and always trying to be the perfect image of something and putting that pressure on myself. And I think it's something that I do, but everyone does. And I think it feels really relevant now when we have all of this pressure with social media and all of these other things, that I think our culture is even shifting more in that direction. So I think this kind of general anxiety for perfection feels like a cultural shift that's even exaggerated now, and it's just something I end up really always focusing on. And it comes in various forms, and each piece that I make is different, but that facet somehow always does make it back into the piece.
Questions? Raise your hand. Yes.
Oh, I think you can hear me. This multi-level form that you used, is there a European model, or is this American? Are Europeans doing this more than?
There are Americans and Europeans who are doing this. So there's a lot of work that's dance theater, mixed media, and so it's not something that's only happening here in Columbus, but it's something that I've seen. A lot of when I was, because I lived in Montreal, Canada for 3 years, and in Germany, and when the cities I was living in had a lot of dance festivals come to them, and I started out really classically. I was in a classical ballet company, and the freedom of mixing medias, when I started to see it in festivals and seeing different companies come in. There are some Belgian dance theater companies that I saw that completely opened my mind, because I really hadn't been exposed to that. I'd really just seen kind of ballet, musical theater, and kind of competition dance in Columbus when I grew up. So that kind of opened my eyes of like what the possibility of performance could be. So I was always interested in mixing those things.
Can I ask a last one? Ah, go.
The playing with the balloons, did you make that and then, the scene where you're like jumping off a building,
Yeah.
did you create that in this space, the idea, or you kind of created it and then you all came here and
So making noises is one of my skills. So it kind of was born like that, and honestly, just like playing around with the balloons in the studio, and then a lot of ideas were born by us sitting and kind of have fun, you know, and let the mind go. It's like, okay, we've been creating stuff for like days. Let's take a day to sit down and talk about it and to explore and see what we feel and how ideas evolve in a way or another. And so that kind of came with okay, we have the balloons, like what can they do? They can bounce around, they can make noises, and then, you know, that's it.
Another question?
I'm so curious about, if anything, what didn't make it into the piece that was still a good idea? That just because I bet how it works is that things get cut. Tell us all about it.
Well, over the summer, we actually did kind of a experiment, like a first iteration of this, and that it included the students of FluxFlow as well. And there was this good idea to say good idea at the end of like every single suggestion. And then it became this like silly, completely ridiculous, over the top, like good idea, like a big speech. And unfortunately that didn't make it in, but
But that's kind of where the escape came from. Mm-hmm. So the escape was like from that to, there was like an idea with like using the good idea to like go different, like maybe have images on the projections that were like pathways. Mm-hmm. And then we tried it and that dropped off, and then somehow it became an escape scene with balloons. But it's from, that escape scene came from good idea. So that's like an extended answer to your question from before.
And we have maybe like 2 more pieces out of ideas that were like, maybe for the next piece. Ideas that came through.
Yes.
Was it hard to lift Filippo?
not even a little bit. He was doing most of the work. It's a lot of ab work.
Yes.
So you live and work in many different places, different countries. Tell us about how do you feel in Columbus?
We feel really wonderful, yeah. Filippo and I moved here like 3 years ago now, started our space in Clintonville, and I mean, Columbus has really welcomed us, and we really feel like we have space to make the work that we wanted to make and have the freedom we didn't have as dancers and companies. So actually it's like, it's funny because when I was 17, I was like, I'm getting out of here and I'm never coming back. And then this is like where I've been the most satisfied as an artist ever, so it's really interesting. Yeah.
One last question? Can I ask a last question? Oh, we had a last question? Oh, yes.
So one of my favorite phrases or parts was the kind of gestural phrase you had where it kind of looked like Ursula and Frank were kind of in the cave when you were being lit and it was super dark around you guys. Do you have a certain kind of prompt you use for creating phrases like that? Or is it just, oh, Russell does a movement now, now Kelly does a movement now? Is there a specific way you kind of do things?
So there's like a literal translation word per word of every movement. So it's sei stata fantastica stasera. So it's like we built, it took a long time. And I spent like 3 hours in a row in squat for like a week, which was a little uncomfortable. But yeah, it's very, all of the movement, like also the point solo, it's a note per note transposition of the Bach score. So there was a move of either a foot or arm or wrist for every single note of that very complicated song. So it's a lot of detail work, how we make material.
And then the cage was also Ursula and Frank, back and forth conversation. That's how it's going.
So Russell, you really created a new genre, which is the dance karaoke. So I know it's a little bit of publicity as well because he's teaching a class of dance karaoke, but it is very unique, you know, like it's rare to see one movement, one word. So it's the last question, so take it in, enjoy it. How did you come up with that? Why? You know, like, because now it's really your signature style, you know, like you always do this type of very precise following. I mean, I'm doing something very poorly, but you get the idea. So where is this coming from? Do you even remember?
Well, I always was interested in musicality. I remember I did like a choreographer program when I was in like summer ballet school when I was like 16, and the piece I made was really extremely like pedantically musical. But then I had like an idea for a solo, I don't know, like 7 years ago or something, where I took a song and I sang it, and then I sang it with word per word, and then I did it in silence, and then from there it just was, it's such a good tool to be able to like pull apart an abstract, and it kind of infuses the movement with meaning because the melodies have a feeling, so then the feeling gets integrated into the movement. Like the point solo and the duo that Kelly and I do at the end are the exact same score, and they are related to me in a way, and how they feel and the flow of things, and so it's fun because you can use the same melody with really, really different movement approaches and then get things that feel connected even though they're quite different.
Well, thank you very much to the three of you. It was beautiful. Thank you very much.